Today's video is going to be about my signage, but first I want to show you guys my new studio. I have a new space to film. It is nice and clean and dedicated to being my studio, so I'm hoping I can do even more videos for you guys. There's my cat, Emmy Lou, playing with my stools in the corner. But I've got a nice dedicated space with my lighting to film. I have got plenty of storage, so I have this nice deep shelf in the back where I can lay out all of my supplies and see what I've got and create for you guys. So really excited about it. I have another couple deep storage spots where my craft and go even fits. So this is a huge upgrade for me, and I'm really excited to make some videos for you guys. This is one of my first videos I am making in my new studio about all my signage, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I realize I probably should have turned on the overhead lights for this so that it was a little bit brighter. It seems a little grayed out in spots, but I think for just a signage video, you guys will be just fine. So just know when I have a new studio space, I'm always working on the lighting the first few videos, and then I usually get it figured out. So thanks for your patience, and thank you in advance for watching, and stay tuned, and I'll show you all about my signage. I want to show you guys my newest sign for face painting. This sign is for festivals, for pay per face, and for larger events where I want a sandwich board sign to be out in front, showing people the designs that are available, as well as my information, and having some simple rules to follow. So I'm going to go over this and my new sign for the back of my craft and go. And if you're interested, I will also show you guys towards the end what my original signage looked like. So the sign right before this one, and then my very first signage that I ever had as well, just to give you guys some context of where to start and where you might want to end up. So stay tuned, and I'm going to go over all things signage for face painting. So first off, the sandwich board itself is about 36 inches tall. I purchased this from Fast Signs at least 2 or 3 years ago. It's very sturdy. It is a white plastic material. It's hollow, but it's very heavy. So in really windy events, it doesn't blow over. I've never had an issue with it, and it cleans up pretty well. There's a few kind of scuffs on it from over the years, but it's held up great, and I have no intention of getting a new one. So really good investment. Happy that I got it. Now the printed part of this is called Coroplast. So this is like a corrugated plastic piece that I then had designed and printed for the insert. So this is recessed back, and the printed insert part is about a 24 by 24 piece that I then had printed. I've had a few versions of this done over the years. I've had mom and pop print shops print it for me. I've had kind of the big guy Fast Signs print it for me. All sorts of different places can print on Coroplast. It's just a matter of what content you want, and you do have to get somebody to design it, unless you're capable of doing that, and then you can do it as well. But it's a great sign. I really like it, and it's going to last me a really long time. So the design for this sign is pretty clean and pretty simple, as you can see. I tried to keep it not too cluttered in hopes that parents would read the important stuff. So obviously I have face painting at the top, and then I have please read. I only have 5 rules on here. Children must be a certain age. Please make sure child's face is clean. That we can't paint children under duress or that can't sit still. That I can't paint kids with, chicken pox or colds. And then I also ask that they pick a design before they are seated in my chair, which we all know is great when it happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but we can at least ask. So I'm not naive enough to think that every parent is going to read this that carefully, because they just don't. But like anything, as a person providing a service, I try to put the most important things out there and hope that parents and children read them. So after that, I have my designs. So these are all now on Velcro so that I can very, very easily take something off and replace it with a new design, or if it's a themed event and it's all superheroes, I can pick out all my superheroes and then I can replace them very, very easily. This is different from the first version of my sign where I had all of my designs just printed on the Coroplast, and I will show you guys that at the end if you're interested. This works out a lot better. I'm able to switch out designs per the season, as well as if there's designs that I want to try or I want to get better at, I make sure to put them on there so that I can just practice them. And no one's going to pick it if it's not on there, right? So it's nice to be able to switch it up. It's so easy. These were actually printed for me by a friend of mine, Erica with Queen Bee Face Painting. I know I've mentioned her before in my videos. She's a very sweet Iowa face painter, and she had access to these, so she printed them and laminated them for me, which was lovely. But I know a lot of people share their PDFs of these word boards. There's a lot of different versions out there on different face painting forums, so you can search these and find them pre-made. You can also make your own on a site like Canva and have them be more specific to how you want them to look, but these work really, really well, and she was sweet enough to give me all sorts of different options so that I can switch up my designs, and it's quite nice. So really liking this setup. At the bottom, I simply said, please help us keep all kids safe and happy. And then I added my Instagram, my Facebook, and my YouTube channel just to do a little bit of self-promotion. So very clean and very, very simple. Now moving forward, if I do a pay per face event, what I'm going to do is take this dry erase tape, which I've used in the past on my Coroplast signs, and I'll just put a piece under each row and most likely do a $5, $10, and $15 design so that I'll have multiple options and then be able to just write on the dry erase tape what the charge is for that particular design. I personally haven't done a lot of pay per face events over the last few years. Now that I'm more established, my summers are really filled with reoccurring events where people hire me, and I'm less reliant on paid per face events, but the sign has some room at the bottom, so I still have an option to add something if I need to and if I choose to do a pay per face event. The back of my sign has this very large unbreakable crib mirror adhered to the back of my plastic sandwich board. This allows me to finish painting a child, lift them out of my chair or have them jump out of my chair, and I say, go to the mirror, go check it out, go look. They've all been watching every kid get out of my chair and run to the mirror. They already know exactly where it is. And then this keeps the line moving. So instead of me grabbing a mirror and holding it up and having a kid ooh and ah, and then the parent wants to take a picture, and then it's adding 2, 3, 4 minutes to every single kid that I paint because they're not out of my chair yet, this allows me immediately to get them out of my chair, have them run over to the mirror, take a look. They can come back 50 times and look in the mirror. Not a problem. I don't care. They can look as much as they want. This is the very first one I purchased. It's a little scratched up and a little dirty, but it's just a crib mirror from Amazon. I will absolutely look and see if I can find a link to this or something similar and put it down below. It's unbreakable. It's very, very safe. Has that little plastic edging to it, so there's no sharp edges. It's meant for a baby crib. Perfect. The only thing I haven't done is there's a lot of room here for some extra design elements. I will at some point probably print another like little sticker down here with just some like friendly information or something. Thank you for being painted with us today.
don't forget to book your next birthday party or something like that. Definitely have the room to do it, and it looks kind of sad compared to the other side. So that'll be a work in progress. Maybe this coming summer I'll do that. But that is my sandwich board sign. It has worked so well for me, and this new version of it is even better, and I'm really, really enjoying using it. So this sign is just a caution wet floor sign. I saw someone post this idea on Facebook. I wish I remembered who you were. I don't remember, but I thought it was so brilliant, and I am always looking for better ways to close my line and open my line. This is lightweight, it's effective because it looks like a caution sign, so people look at it, and it's double-sided. I will link this below. Got it from Amazon. I specifically got the one that you can have inserts in. So it came with this little plastic piece that comes out, and then you can just print right from your printer whatever you want it to say. So this is my open sign. Right behind it, I have a break sign. So I have your face painter needed a timeout. We'll be right back. So for those really, really long events where I have to have a break, I have to use the restroom, I can just switch it out and then put the plastic piece right back on. And I always tell people in line, hey guys, taking a quick break, and they'll either choose to stand there and wait, or they'll leave and they'll come back. And I absolutely love this. Now, the other side. So the other side, when I flip it around, says, sorry, face painting is now closed. It's got a little stop sign, and it says, please don't join the line. Now, I will tell you that I not only put this out, but I also ask for help from the people in line. And I say, hey guys, closing the line, you're the last one. I will move this to whoever that last person is. And if there's an adult with them, I will say, hey, can you do me a favor and try to tell the people, somebody tries to join the line, just point out the sign to them. Most of the time, people are more than happy to help. And sometimes I've had parents really take charge and completely help me close my line, which is lovely. And they don't have to do it, but they do it anyways. And I usually will spend an extra couple minutes on their child and make it a really, really special design for them helping me out. Sometimes whoever that last person in line is might not be so willing, or maybe they're a kid and they just don't have the aptitude to really help you do that, and that's fine. So I will constantly look back. I know who the last person in my line was, and if I see someone join the line, I will say to the kid I'm painting, hold on one sec, hon, I'll be right back. And I will walk to the back of my line and say, hey guys, it's closed. Now, another thing I'll do is if I'm at a really crazy large event, everyone in line who goes up to this sign, whoever I put this behind to say the line is closed, I will mark their hand, either with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I know I have 5 more kids to paint, or with an X, or however I want to do it, so that I know if they weren't in that line and they snuck in front of this and they don't have a number on the back of their hand that I painted, or if you give them a sticker or whatever you want to do, then I know that they either snuck in or they had 5 brothers and sisters that joined the line with them and they weren't really in line. So this is not the end all to ending your line. You still have to do other things to make sure people know you're done, but I find it really, really helpful and just another tool in the arsenal to close the line. Some people like to put a vest on the kid who's last. I know when I was a kid, I wouldn't want to wear a vest, so that's not my favorite thing to do, because I try to think of personally, would I like it if somebody asked me to do that? And the answer is no. So you have to kind of judge for you what works best and in your area. I am in the Midwest, America. We are Iowa nice. People are kind of sugary sweet here. I don't have a lot of problems. If you are in a state or country where people are just a little bit more aggressive and aren't that nice, then this might not work for you. So please take into consideration your area, the events you do, and how people react to you and your situation before thinking, oh, this is going to solve all my problems. It might not. but this works for me so well and I absolutely love it. And it's so lightweight. I just think it's brilliant. So whoever came up with this, thank you so much for posting it. I absolutely love it. I also got a vinyl sticker to put on the back of my Craft and Go so that when I'm at an event and my Craft and Go is open, people can see my logo, they can see my social media tags, and then I just put over here things that I do: events, glitter tattoos, Halloween makeup, blacklight parties, waterproof paint parties, and henna. As well as I have my logo on there. The design also mirrors the design on my face painting board, only with this being white. And I wanted this to be a little bit clearer, and I thought the black would be nice and seamless with my black Craft and Go. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It definitely adds a little extra professional element to my Craft and Go, and I really, really like having this. I've also noticed tons of parents just taking pictures of this at birthday parties, which is brilliant. I also, when I have this open, actually have this little metal strip here that my business cards go on in a little Craft and Go tub. So they can grab a card, but I've noticed a lot of parents aren't grabbing them and they're just taking a picture and then they just Facebook me, which is quite brilliant. So really loving that I did that. Should have done it so long ago. Another thing I do for signage is I attach a board to my Craft and Go sometimes. This is a Sally Ann Lynch board that right now obviously just has practice line work and designs on it. But I have a few pieces of Velcro attached to the board itself. And if I have a very specific themed event, like I did this for a Wizard of Oz party, I went ahead and just painted designs on this display prior to the event that they could choose from. And then I attached this with the legs extended. It just looks like an extension of my Craft and Go. And it's a really, really good way to do images when you need them. I don't always need images represented at events, but sometimes it's really, really helpful because if it's very, very specifically themed, I don't want people to have to imagine what that design would be. So this is just another tool in my arsenal when I definitely need images represented. Or sometimes for Halloween, I'll have this be all the basic designs and then I'll paint this with the specific Halloween themed designs that I'm doing for that season. So then I have twice the amount of designs. I can have all my basic designs shown here, and then I can even do like a split face. So I'll do one design on this side, one design on the other, and double the amount of designs per face, and then I'll number them. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that way I have all the Halloween designs shown visually and represented, and then all my basic designs represented by the word board. The last piece of signage that I use often is just what I bring to birthday parties. Very often I won't bring anything to birthday parties and I just talk to the kids and I let them pick pretty much whatever they want because it's a birthday party and I've got lots of time and I almost never go over time and they can be really creative and I can help them be creative. But if I feel like the hostess is a little micromanagey, or maybe that day I'm not feeling very creative and I just want the kids to pick really specific basic designs, I will pull this out. It's just a basic 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I designed in Canva. And this is the most simplistic version of what I have. I have another version where it's completely filled up with designs. And I actually have a PDF link to that one, which is printable. And I will post it in the description box below. You guys are welcome to have it and use it as you see fit. But this is really helpful. I just keep it in my Craft and Go. And when I have those events where I feel like, you know, the kids need a list or the parents are asking for a list, I can pull this out and they can pass it around. It's laminated, so it doesn't get messed up. And then they have something to pick from. But again, very often at birthday parties, I just wing it and just talk to the kids a lot, ask them what their favorite things are, what colors they like. I start listing stuff off. Usually it's not hard for kids to decide what they want to be painted, but there are definitely situations where it's just easier to have a list. So this always lives with me. And again, I'll stick the link below to the one that's filled with design so that if you guys want to have it and use it, you are welcome to do that. Okay, so if you guys made it this far, I am going to show you the last version of the face painting sign that I had printed for my Coroplast sign that went on my sandwich board. This one had my old logo, which was fine, but I had since had it redone. It still had face painting at the top, and then I had all the rules and these bubbles, some of which were really long and wordy, and I just wanted to simplify it. I also had 3 sections of design, small, medium, and large. One thing you might notice is that there are so many choices on this, like overwhelming. And I noticed that when I was doing free events, I would go over to the large category, and sometimes I would cover some of these up, like zombie and sugar skull and things that I just thought were going to take a really long time that I knew I couldn't do during that event. So I knew I had to simplify it. This worked for me for, gosh, I think well over a year, maybe even 2 years I used this. Feels like a long time. Can't remember how long. But it definitely worked, but it needed to be revamped. I'm really enjoying the Velcroed version better because this is just like an overwhelming list of things to do. And I noticed I was using so many brushes at events because I had all these choices. And it's just too much. And it's harder for the kids to pick too. So it served its purpose. It was a great version at the time, but it was time to get rid of it. So last but certainly not least are the very first face painting boards that I ever did. They have been in my basement, and I've been cleaning my basement, and I found them. And I have to say, these were maybe like 8 or even 10 years ago. I'm not sure. But at the time, I mean, I just started face painting. I didn't even know how to create any kind of signage. So I just grabbed some canvases and I painted on them. This is mainly face paint. Some of it might be acrylic paint though, honestly. I wasn't using acrylic paint on kids' faces, but I think maybe I thought it would be easier to paint on a canvas. I have no idea. But I turned them into like easels, and this is like Velcroed, so it like pops out, and then I would stand them on a table, which took up so much table room. It was not ideal, but you know, I was just starting. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I will tell you, most of these designs I had never done on a face, and I didn't know how they were gonna fit on a face. Like, I was totally guessing. Looking back, it's very obvious to me, like the flaws in all of this, but at the time, it was really logical, and I was super excited about it, and it worked, and the kids loved it. Check out that Frozen design, huh? It's just like a blob of blue with some snowflakes, hand-drawn, mind you, because I had no stencils. So, well, I obviously had some stencils because I had that one. I think I had a few BAM stencils at the time, but probably only a couple because I only have a few on there. That was my attempt at double dip flowers, which I was so proud of. And honestly still am, because you have to start somewhere, and this is where I started. So from these face painted canvases, from who knows how long ago, 8-10 years ago, to my very new signage, I think I've come a long way. And in short, whatever you guys are using for signage, just make sure it works for you, and don't be afraid to change it. So much of face painting and running a business in general is finding out what works and what doesn't, and making mistakes. You know, make a mistake, learn from it, and move on. And I have made plenty of mistakes, as you guys can see. So I hope this video was helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.